thinking, ugh, I'm just not a math person? Or maybe that some subjects are just completely out of your league? Well, today we're diving into Barbara Oakley's A Mind for Numbers. And let me tell you, this book basically says that idea is a total myth. It's not about being born with a special numbers brain. It's all about learning how to use the incredible brain you've already got.
And this right here, this is the core idea. And it's so empowering. What it really means is that if you're struggling with something, you're not broken. It's just a sign that you probably haven't been shown the right strategies yet. This is not about some kind of raw, natural talent. It's all about having the right technique.
Okay, so how do we actually unlock all this potential? Well, the answer starts with something really fundamental: understanding the two completely different ways that your brain thinks.
I want you to think of your brain as having two different gears, like in a car. Here's the thing, you can't be in both gears at the same time. Real deep learning happens when you get good at shifting between them. And this idea, it's the foundation for literally every other technique we're about to talk about.
So on one side, you've got the focused mode. This is like a laser pointer. It's intense, it's targeted, and it uses pathways in your brain that are already there to solve problems you kind of already know how to handle. It's super powerful, but it can also get you stuck in a rut. Then on the other side, you've got the diffuse mode. This is your brain's relaxed, big picture state. It's what's running when you're out for a walk, taking a shower, or even just drifting off to sleep. And this is where the magic happens, where new connections get made and those amazing aha moments seem to pop out of nowhere.
So here is the most crucial insight of all. You cannot solve a brand new, really tough problem by only using one of these modes. It just doesn't work. You have to focus on it really hard for a while, and then, and this part is non-negotiable, you have to step away and let your diffuse mode take the wheel for a bit. That feeling of being totally stuck, that's not you failing. That's actually a signal from your brain telling you, hey, it's time to switch gears.
And that leads us perfectly into our first major tool: chunking. If the focused and diffuse modes are about how your brain is thinking, chunking is about what you're actually building inside your brain while you learn.
So, what in the world is a chunk? You can think of it like a compressed zip file for your brain. Seriously, it's a bundle of information that's all tied together by meaning, so you can just grab it from your memory as one single item, instead of having to remember all the little individual pieces. You know, when you learn a song on the guitar, you're not thinking about every single note. You're thinking in chunks, in chords. Same idea.
So how do we build these super useful chunks? Well, first, you need absolute, undivided, focused attention. No multitasking. Second, you have to really understand the basic idea behind what you're learning. Don't just memorize the steps. Third, you need to practice with it in different situations to see how it connects to other things. And finally, you have to test yourself. That simple act of trying to recall the information is what actually weaves those neural connections together and makes the chunks strong and easy to access.
Of course, all this talk about building chunks requires focus. And we all know what the #1 enemy of focus is: procrastination. So how do we fight back? Well, not with brute force, but with a simple, kind of brilliant technique called the Pomodoro.
Now, this is such an important idea to get your head around. When you procrastinate, it's not because you're a lazy person. It's because your brain literally anticipates the pain of doing a hard or boring task, and it tries to shift your attention to something that feels good right now. Once you understand that, you can start to outsmart your own brain. And here's how you do it. You just set a timer for 25 minutes, and you make a promise to yourself to work with total focus for just that short period of time. The little psychological trick here is that you're focusing on the process, the 25 minutes of work, not the product, not the scary, overwhelming final result. This completely bypasses your brain's pain response because, hey, anyone can do something for 25 minutes. Then you get a guilt-free 5-minute break as a reward. This actually trains your brain to start liking the work, and it's an amazing way to just get started.
Okay, so we've got our mental frameworks, but they don't just operate in a vacuum. To really make these chunks stick and to get our brains working at their absolute best, we need to talk about two biological superchargers: sleep and exercise.
Let's be clear. Sleep is not wasted time. It is a critical active learning phase. While you're sleeping, your brain is working hard. It's solidifying those chunks you built during the day. It's practicing the hard stuff, and it's literally washing away toxins that build up while you're awake. Your diffuse mode is going wild, making all sorts of cool connections in the background. This is exactly why pulling an all-nighter before a big test is one of the absolute worst things you can do for your memory.
And then there's exercise. Think of exercise as fertilizer for your brain. It actually helps create new neurons. It improves your long-term memory, and it lowers the stress that can block learning. And you don't have to become a marathon runner either. The science is really clear that even a simple 20-minute walk can give you a major cognitive boost. It's a direct investment in your learning hardware.
So, let's wrap this all up. Your new learning toolkit now includes switching between focused and diffuse modes, building strong mental chunks, using the Pomodoro to beat procrastination, and then supercharging the whole system with proper sleep and exercise. See, these aren't just a bunch of random tips. They are fundamental strategies that all work together, and they're used by top performers in pretty much every field.
And I really want to leave you with this, because it is the most important takeaway of all. Your brain isn't fixed. It's not a static thing. It is incredibly changeable, and it can grow and build new connections for your entire life. Learning how to learn is the ultimate skill. And by applying these kinds of techniques, you're not just studying a subject, you are actively upgrading